Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Slam. Shoot. Watch the shoot. Check. Check hot route. Hot. 6 guys. Check 6 guys.
They run for the first time with Justice Hill. 5 yards on the game's first play, 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the 40-yard line.
Watch the motion. Hatchet. Hey, alert 3. Quick dad.
On 2nd down, it's Hill. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
First down. First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Shut. Pittsburgh. Hey. Pressure. Hey, check.
They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And down right around the 37. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
It's going to be a long game. Check 3.
They'll go with Hill here on 1st down. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 16.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Now a first down carry. It's Hill. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Watch twist.
To To throw on 2nd and 6. Jackson. Flush to his right. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Willie Snead. His 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Ready. 49, guys. Mike, 49. Blue Dan.
On the toss, Mixon. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Now Brown. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive, as it'll begin in enemy territory already. A first scoring update now from Carolina. And the Chiefs have jumped out to an early lead in their ball game. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. On 1st down, Hill. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Brought down by the cornerback, William Jackson. You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Buying time to his left. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Switch. Short.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. From the gun, Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. Space to run past the 20. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Ravens 7, Bengals nothing.
That's what I do.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Carl Lawson in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Jackson. Now he steps away toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Check. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Hey. 50.
Jackson from the shotgun. Looking for Snead, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jatavis Brown. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. No doubt a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Here we go.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go. Set. Pilot 64. Weak.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 17 and a Cincinnati 1st down.
1st down, Cincinnati.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Back to throw here. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Joe Mixon. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Complete to his tight end Sample. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. 1st down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Down. 260 outlaw. Sweetheart. Check 52.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Flushed out right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Matt Judon in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They'll look to throw here. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through. It's been a nightmare season. You're well under 500. Your defense hasn't really kept in a lot of games. And now it's spilling over to the kicking game. That's 3 points you've got to be able to bank on.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Bengals grab it.
No, protection's on. Protection's on.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now left side on the swing pass. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
And we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Sheds off the tackle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Yeah, he's got it. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. From 17 yards out as they are now on the board here in the 1st half.
After nearly 30 minutes of football, that touchdown puts us in a position where if they make the extra point, we're right back to even before we start the second half.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field.
That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. A big play there just before halftime. 62 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Check 99. Check 99. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Now it's Jackson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, and it's 3rd and short.
Brings up 3rd down and 3 yards to go.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. From the gun, it's Jackson. And this is going to be intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
Let's go. Let's do it.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Forced out to his left. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Matt Judon, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude.
And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away but could not. Emmanuel Ogbah. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now it's Jackson. It got his man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That goes for a gain of 31. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the third quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll run with Hill. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it. Check. Watch twitch. Watch that.
Again, they run with Hill. And he gets it down to the 32. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action now. Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. They complete it to Hill. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it a 2nd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
36. Bang, bang, bang.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down.
Tighten up, tighten up.
Operating from the gun, Jackson. Flush to his right. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
They have, by the way, gone to the 3rd quarter now at Ford Field in Detroit. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Well, close game, 2nd half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Second and 10. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Mixon with a first down carry. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Here we go. 30 base. Let's go. Ready? Chopper. Chopper.
2nd and 13. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 33. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked.
That's going to be caught by Ross for a Bengal touchdown. John Ross, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals have taken the lead. So now the Bengals offense will stay out there as they'll decide to go for 2. They'll let Mixon try and run it in. And he is not going to make it to the goal line. So the defense holds, and this remains a 5-point game. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Let's bring up. Check.
Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards the pick up there, good for a Raven first. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
You don't want nothing. You don't want nothing. Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want
Slay.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Being chased out left. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 41 yards.
First and goal at the 5-yard line.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll try to pound it in with Hill. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. They give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. They'll run it with Hill. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Check hot route. Hot.
They'll look to run with Ingram. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens have retaken the lead.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
6 guys. Check 6 guys.
To throw is Jackson, operating from the gun. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. Dances by him. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going.
You can't block me.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He finds his running back, Mixon. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. It's a Bengal 1st down, a pickup of 11.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
A good pick up there of 20 yards. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Powering forward. Stays on his feet. It's a Bengal 1st down, a pickup of 11.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Now a dump off here complete. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it's a 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And this kick is not going to get there. It's short and no good.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock. And this is second and less than a yard.
Check 24. Check 24.
Check the backer, check the backer.
Go. Check 3. Check 13.
On second down, it's Hill. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
That's good for a Baltimore first down.
Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight one-point game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They stick on the ground on first down with Hill. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be second and 11.
Second and 11 at the 48-yard line.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone. Check. Lucky. Alert, flare.
Here's Snead as they run the jet sweep. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Well, not a big gain with that play, but what they're doing is they're spreading the defense out, probing a little bit, and what they're hoping probably is that later in the game, they can create a matchup that they can exploit for big yardage later.
Jackson to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, his 11th touchdown of the year as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. Elsewhere, Ford Field, they're into the fourth quarter now. You saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. If they can hold on, the win would be number 8 for them on the campaign. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they limited timeouts. Got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. He'll look to throw. Got a man open. It's Ross. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Kill. 61. Matchbox. Light.
They'll look to throw. Out to his left. He's going to let it fly. And is it a touchdown? No signal. No, they say incomplete. And unable to connect. It's incomplete. And the clock stopped at 8 seconds. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. He's back to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now they do indeed get the timeout, so all is not lost. They'll have a chance for one final heave to the end zone. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Rolling to his left. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Ravens, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, the losses continue to mount as they drop to 0-11 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.